So it's been a bit since I've uploaded, but I've been working on some bigger videos. But in the meantime, I wanted to share this tweet by Shonen Leaks saying, "Leak! One Punch Man Season 3 to be animated by MAPPA." And my instant reaction to this tweet was, bro, please, no god, no, don't ruin One Punch Man 2, fuck. But this account more so talks about anime previews, manga illustrations, key visuals, and news. I can't exactly talk about the legitimacy of their leaks. Anime leaks are far different than a simple Shonen Jump weekly leak. One is having actual insider information, and the other is just getting your hands on a magazine. I've seen this account before, but I'm not too sure in what context. Maybe they're legit, maybe they're not. I can't exactly talk about that. But let's act as though it is legit. If you couldn't tell, I'm not exactly the biggest fan of MAPPA. Is their CG some of the best out there? Sure. Does that make it good though? No. This doesn't mean that I simply hate all CG, not at all. I mean, in fact, one of my favorite shows is entirely in 3D CG, and that is Ruby. CG can be done well if it's done by a studio that knows how to do it. Rooster Teeth, just, say what you want about the company itself, they know what they're doing when it comes to CGI. MAPPA has dabbled in CG just a little bit, testing out the waters with the questionable results that came from Dorohedoro, a completely CGI show. Then they decide, that's good enough, and go test out more of their CG with Attack on Titan, the world's biggest anime. And then with the recent Chainsaw Man, and well, I watched an episode, dropped it, and then read the manga, and now I regret everything in life. It's such a painful series. And I'm not saying that Chainsaw Man always looks bad. There are actually many great scenes that I've seen online. But in every scene, they're always either just straight up using 2D animation or they're mixing 2D with 3D. Which, I'll give them the benefit of the doubt, they're learning, I suppose. Because I know MAPPA can do great animation. I loved Kakegururi, God of High School, Jujutsu Kaisen, and Tac Destiny. Some anime that didn't use too much CG, or rather they found a good balance of it. But with what One Punch Man Season 3 will have to animate, you just know that like 80-90% of it will be in CG. Because one thing that MAPPA loves doing now is animating monsters in CG. And we are going into the Monster Association arc, if that tells you anything. There will be some crazy fights. Fights that could look like this. Or hell, they could even look like this. But they'll most likely end up looking like this. If One Punch Man fans got up in arms about Season 2's animation being sloppy, then I truly don't understand why those same people are excited for this. MAPPA has a good name. Yes, it has done some of the biggest anime in the recent years, but that doesn't make what they do good. If your child spends 10 minutes drawing something and they come to you with it, you take a look at it and it's probably going to be bad. Of course you're going to say that it looks great, honey, oh you did wonderful. But if an adult comes to you with the same shitty drawing, you're not going to sugarcoat it, especially with these people who are getting paid to do this. This feels very similar to the video game industry right now. We're allowing these studios to get away with releasing games that are half finished or are the same game every year. It took us a few years, but we're finally realizing, wait, maybe this is a bad thing. Are games supposed to be playable when I buy them? We need to stop buying the games day one. Is this going to happen though? Probably not. We're going to still buy the games day one, but that is the answer. And it's the same thing here. Don't get me wrong, again, I'm fine with some CG animation, but are you really okay with having the Garu fight look like this? Now, this is a fan animation that utilizes 3D CG, but it makes it work. It's not about the fact that the CG is being used. Again, I love Ruby, but it's how it's used. When it comes to video games, movies, anime, we've completely dropped our standards so much and value quantity over quality that anything that comes out is just half-baked and messy. Yes, let's give the MAPPA animators a break. Let's give this off to a studio that knows what they're doing, not one that's hot right now. If you want to take anything from this video, it's what I just said. We need to raise our standards for our media. I'm not in the mindset that it's a right to have great media. It's 100% a privilege, but we can choose to not consume it. These media creators need us to survive. We definitely need the media, but they need us more. They've realized that they don't have to put in as much effort to make entertainment anymore. I mean, if we're willing to buy a half-finished game, why finish them at all? It's the same thing with this. MAPPA does CG because although it's a little bit more expensive in the short run, in the long run of it, it saves both money and especially time, allowing them for a better turnover and are able to release it much faster than before. Sure, we'll get our One Punch Man Season 3 in a couple years, but it's gonna end up looking like this.